Bet Edge, Friday, February the 24th. My name is Sean Carrier. Thank you for being with us. How about those Detroit Pistons? We hope everyone enjoyed last night's selection on those Detroit Pistons. They fell behind 15 points to begin the fourth quarter. They stormed all the way back to force overtime, end up winning the game outright. More importantly, covering the 4.5 points, cashing the ticket, putting another Bet Edge winner on the board. So we're feeling good today, and we've got another selection that we fully expect to keep this mojo going. So much so, we're going to make it a full 2-unit selection. And that play today, ladies and gentlemen, is on the Utah Jazz minus 3 points, visiting the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's today's selection. Put it on the board, Utah Jazz minus 3, and let's dive into it. So the first thing we'd like to highlight here is the Utah Jazz road record at 15-11. That's a very good road record. Very few teams in the association have a winning percentage that high on the road. And when compared to Milwaukee's home record at only 14-14, they're barely 500. And after tonight, they're not going to be 500 if everything goes well. So yeah, just a 500 team, just a toss-up whether they protect home court or not. And they're getting an elite-level basketball team here in the Utah Jazz. So we fully expect that to fall in the loss column for them. And there's some more reasons why. Just looking at the recent meetings between these teams, they've already played this month. Utah winning 104-88. That's a 16-point victory. That's not a close game. And we don't see very much changing in tonight's matchup. We expect it to go pretty much the way this game went. And if you just dive deeper here into their recent meetings, you'll see that Utah has won all 5 of their last 5 matchups, and 8 of the last 10 dating back to 2012. So I don't know how much bearing a 2012 game will have on tonight's affair, but definitely good to see a head-to-head dominance for the Jazz. It definitely means that they don't have a problem traveling across country here to Wisconsin and playing this Bucks team. So that's definitely, we're going to look for that to bode well for us. Just looking at Utah's recent form here going into the All-Star break, it's not great, but it's not bad. They were winners of 6 of their last 10. They did hit a little rough patch here shortly before the break. They lost a tough overtime game to Dallas, a game in which the Jazz were up about 18, if I remember correctly, and somehow let it slip away. And then losing to Boston, they're a tough team, and the Clippers are also a tough team. And then they did seem to right the ship here, getting a W against Portland to go into the break. So they went into the break on a good note there with that win. And this little streak, it doesn't worry me too much. It's 2 good teams and an overtime loss. It's not like anything has catastrophically gone wrong for them. Yeah, the Jazz are not a team that went into this break looking to solve a bunch of problems, I don't think. I think they just want to come out for the stretch run and just play a little more efficient, tighten things up. And yeah, they're a team that's geared up, going for that home seed in the playoffs. I believe they're 4th right now, a division leader. So definitely a good first half of the season for the Utah Jazz, and we're going to look for them to build upon that starting tonight. And just getting down to Milwaukee's recent form here, they lost Jabari Parker sometime here around the 4th, I believe, of February. And they struggled early without him, and then did win 3 of their last 3 games going into the break. But I'm not going to put too much stock into some of these victories. Indy is in a rough patch right now. They've lost all of their 6 last matchups, I believe. And Detroit here on the 13th of February, they were on the second night of a back-to-back. They'd played Toronto the night before. And I don't know how much stock you want to put in a 4-point victory over the Brooklyn Nets. But it doesn't impress me too much. It's not a murderer's row of victories by any stretch of the imagination. And this is a Bucks team that did go into the break searching for a lot of answers. I mean, they start different players night to night. Sometimes Brogdon is their starting point guard. Sometimes it's Dellavedova. Some nights I see Thon Maker starting at center. Some nights it's Henson. Some nights it's Monroe. Giannis seems to be playing a different position every time I turn a Bucks game on. They seem to not have a lot of cohesion between their units, and yeah, just not a lot of defined roles on this team. Just a team searching for lots of answers, and I'm not sure that this 1 week was enough to fix all that's ailing the Milwaukee Bucks. So the referees for tonight's affair, we've got Brent Barnaky, James Capers, and Mitchell Irvin. Not a great crew, but not a terrible crew either. Getting down to the day's rest, there's definitely some interesting things that I saw here. On 2 or more days rest, the Utah Jazz are 9-2. That's an elite level record, and there's upticks in their numbers that explain it also. I mean, their average average points for goes from 98 points up to 101 on 2 days rest, and then all the way up to 106 on 3 days rest. And their average against a stout 95 to begin with. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, but they somehow find a way to improve on it with 1 day's rest, going to 89, and then up to 99 on 3 days rest. But I think that's just a product of them scoring more points, giving up a little more, because they're 4-1 in those games. So it's obviously not been a problem for them in those games. So yeah, the Jazz clearly get better with rest, and they've had a week off here coming into tonight's matchup. So we're going to look for that to definitely aid them. Now looking at Milwaukee on 2 or more days rest, complete opposite. They're 3-8 and 0-7 on 3 days rest. I mean, that's crazy to me. And yeah, their numbers, like, they don't seem to change too much. They go from 108 points for to 109, which is not an increase at all, really, and then all the way down to 98 on 3 days rest. That boggles my mind. And their average against goes from 106 down to 105, and then all the way up to basically 108 there. So definitely a team that seems to squander those extra days rest. They don't seem to come in prepared, or they don't seem to be better with that rest, and definitely Utah does seem to be a better club coming off days rest, which these teams will be tonight. So we're going to look for that definitely to aid the Jazz here and hopefully hinder the Milwaukee Bucks. So just getting down to the injury report, both these teams are fairly healthy. The Jazz have Rodney Hood here listed as probable. From everything I'm reading, they fully expect him to be playing tonight, and the Bucks will have everybody apart from Jabari Parker, who will be out for the rest of the year. And so yeah, this injury is still it's not that old for them. I mean, they've only played 5 games, as you can see right here, since his departure. So I still think that this is going to be a team that's looking to fill the void of Jabari Parker. I don't think they have anybody on the roster, quite frankly, that's going to be able to do that for them. So yeah, I kind of think these are two teams going in 2 different directions. So just get into the stat graphic here that we've got to see if we've got any edges there. The offense per 100 possessions is basically the same. It's within a point, 110 to 109. Milwaukee, a small edge there. Defensively, though, this is a significant edge. Milwaukee, 5 points better on defense per 100 possessions. It's definitely, we're going to look for that to be a significant edge in tonight's matchup. The field goal percentage is very, very, very close. 530 to 525. A small favor for Milwaukee. Points per shot is the same. Utah is going to enjoy the rebounding edge there with Gobert in the middle. A 2% edge there over Milwaukee, and the turnover percentage is the exact same. So as you can see here, the Bucks in the little offensive categories, they have some small edges against Utah, but Utah's edges in defense and rebounding are definitely more significant numbers and discrepancies. So we're definitely going to look for those edges there in this matchup. And then just a little summary here with the bullet points. Jazz have a better road record than Milwaukee has a home record. So I think that just speaks to the difference in these 2 teams are at a different level. And I think that illustrates that point. And Utah's won all of the past 5 meetings and 8 of the last 10 between these teams. We're going to look for that to carry forward. And then, as you can see here, with 2 or more days rest, Utah at dominant 9-2, come out much sharper, and Milwaukee at 3-8. That record to me would suggest they might come out a little stagnant tonight, and we're going to look for the Jazz to make them pay. And then, as we highlighted in the little stat graphic here, Utah should enjoy a defensive and rebounding edge. So we believe all of these edges should add up to a Utah Jazz victory. So that's tonight's selection, everybody. The Utah Jazz minus the 3 points. You can put it on the board. We hope we all win some money with this selection. So as always, please be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's where all of our picks get posted. We post our balance sheets there. Some great betting tools. All of the videos get posted up there. So yeah, be sure to follow us there. Everything's absolutely free. Twitter is at bet_edge. There's a link down below in the description for all of our videos. So definitely be sure to check us out there. We hope we hit a winner here today. And yeah, we hope we all enjoy the game. So as always, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Good night and good luck.